His Majesty calls forth all former members of the fighting company, paid to kill!
So I understand that you would like to make a petition to the crown. Indeed, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, we know there is a PTK that has to do it. You might see fit to elevate our journal to the jury tonight. There is that letter to his merit. I will not consider granting it. Is there a member of the nobility who can speak for his merit?
Your Majesty, page and book officials requested the honor of speaking to Squire Deagan. However, he cannot be present in your court. He requests that Squire Rathles, his company mate, read his words. If it pleases you, he is prepared to do so.
Read his words, Your Majesty. Society is for me to give in to our family at a time like this. When one of our own was taken to the school at the time of his life. Those of you that didn't know Dan was a great friend, an inspired leader, and the best friend I've ever known. His grandfather's career was that of dedicated service to the game, running events, holding lawful positions, and making the game as a whole better. I met Dan my first day of Vanguard in 2006 when Buzz and Lobster brought me to Westwood. His love for the game really got me interested, and he taught me the ins and outs of who I was, or who was who. At the end of the day, he showed me so much, he even taught me to make my second day of the game novel editor down at Bell Run Inn. From there, I fell in love with the game and the people that made it my home ever since. In the following year, I helped I made decisions that shaped my life at Vanguard and joined the company PTK and accepted Dan as my squire. He gave me this belt as a sign of our friendship, and I've worn it every day of my Vanguard career. From there, Dan pushed me to better myself and try new things, leading me to create various quests and monsters for the game. He started getting busy with work and games, so he had to put the game on the back burner for a time until he was able to return. Then he began having health issues and had to stop completely, for which he hated every moment of it. For the past few years, I've gamed with Dan as much as I could and loved every minute of it. He would tell me how badly he wanted to come back to the game and finish what he started. This service-oriented individual is the essence that makes a good ant guarder, and he will forever be remembered by me and anyone who knew him. Today we lost a family member, a mentor, a fighting spirit, a gamer, an ant guarder, a storyteller, a shit talker, a truly knightly individual, and a master of mischief. Most of all, a friend with a great impact on this earth. To those whose lives have been influenced, I have only a few things to say about this man. I'd like just to have a moment of silence for him. The last thing he wanted us to do is PTK. What makes the grand scrub? What makes the grand scrub? Kill! What are the peerage? Is there a member of the chivalry who will speak on Deagan's behalf?
Your Majesty, Duke Sir Conrad is prepared to speak for Deagan as the Guildmaster of Knights.
It pleases me to hear his words. Sir Conrad, please speak your words.
Many of you may not have had the chance to meet me. I was a lucky individual who spent a lot of time with him. In many ways, I think he was a better person for this game than me. And I loved it. His passion for this game was going on. I can't even tell you how many times I heard he'd call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, knowing I'm at work, to say, hey, I was having an idea. We're going to have this event. We're going to call it Mini Novel. We're going to go build a fortress on Chrissy's land. We're going to bring thousands of pallets. We're going to tear them down. We're going to go through 20-pound buckets of screws to build this thing. I'm like, yeah, sure we are. We're going to build a maze in the back of her lot. And her parents are saying it's okay. I kept telling Dan, sure. 6 years ago, it looked amazing. And he just sit there and laugh and giggle and say, hey, you know what we're going to do next year? We're going to build 3 of these. So the guys that were helping, I'm like, who's we? Man, who are you talking about, man? The guy, he loves this game so much. And I really, I don't know what else the words to say how great an individual he was. He was a wonderful man, in and outside of the game. Unlike me, he had no one that disliked him. I have gone around thinking about this. I talked to his wife the other day, and no one disliked him. A true loss is what we all have to come with. I was, and those are the reasons why I appreciate it.
I find merit in the cause for elevation of my subject, Deagan. Mr. Conrad, is a candidate free to take the oath and accept responsibility of knight oath?
No, Your Majesty, he has sworn fealty to his grace, Sir Wisdom.
Herald, please summon Sir Wisdom.
His Majesty, call forward House of Morales before the great axe throne.
Your Grace, will you send me to Squire Deagan that I may elevate him to curious knighthood of Calvador?
His Majesty calls forth Deagan to appear before the throne. Deagan to Tserrall, you are commanded to appear before the great axe throne. Lord Squire, Deagan to Tserrall. Your Majesty, Lord Deagan has fallen and is not present in your court. His Majesty.
I'd like to call forth the Knights Vanguard. Ride mindful of your prowess on the field, in response to the visions of your peers, we remind you to make you a knight. Know that to wear the belt and chain of a knight is to hold a sacred trust, that the obligations of knighthood will demand your efforts every moment of your life. The knight vanguard must be respectful of all religions, never offending the faith of another. A knight must respect all those who are weak or defenseless, whether because of age, infirmity, poverty, or vow, and be steadfast in defending it. The knight must love his kingdom and his province, fulfill most faithfully his feudal duties to his king. His word must be dependable, beyond doubt or question. He must never flee from the face of his foes. He must be courteous to all. In all ways and everywhere, he must be the champion of the right and the good. The laws of vanguard and the customs of the kingdom require that the knight be skillful, as you have demonstrated you are on the field. That the knight be courteous, as you have shown yourself to be, and these noble gentlemen attest. That the knight be sworn to his loyal to his kingdom and vanguard. Do you desire to accept the burden of knighthood and swear fealty to the crown?
Lord Deagan was all of these things, and more, Your Majesty. He remains a good and true example of a knight, even in death.
Is there a coat of arms?
By His Majesty's leave, I, Sir Conrad, will speak to the symbolism of the knight's coat of arms, while Squire Rathius places the circlet before the candle. These arms ensure that all might know this knight from afar, and judge him fair or foul, to ensure obedience to the order of knighthood. It symbolizes the hardships that a knight will suffer foremost in battle, and always placing his body between his kingdom and her foes. just as a surcoat receives blows, rain, or insult before the armor and body of the knight.
Is there a belt?
There is, Your Majesty. White belt of the knight is white, symbolizes purity, purity of purpose to begin anew, those steps on the path towards the chivalry.
Are there spurs?
By Your Majesty's leave, we ask that Deagan's friend Fuzz place the spurs at the heels of the king. As knights, spurs goad the warhorse, so should they goad the knight to valor, service, diligence, and swiftness. Let the spurs hasten the knight to his duty, that he might maintain his order in the high honor that belongs to him. By placing precious spurs near his feet, a knight displays disdain for worldly things. They should be worn with honor and discretion, lest they be hacked from your heels and chained in disgrace.
Trappings of knight hath been bestowed, and with it the chain that binds the knight, the fealty, the kingdom of Talcor and Mayfair.
The chain is of the purest of the metals, to signify the purity of the chain of fealty which binds the knight and his sovereign to one another. The chain is heavy, to symbolize and remind the knight of the heavy responsibility he bears. The chain is strong and runs around the neck of the knight, signifying obedience to the commands of the sovereign and the order. The chain is a unique symbol of the knight's vanguard, and as such, is the badge of the order, just as the fleece, the garter, the star, the cross have been used to signify knightly orders by our forefathers. Pray, let your behavior and deeds charge this our symbol with as greater reverence and respect as the symbols of our forefathers.
Is there a sword that Deagan will offer in service to the crown?
Yes, my liege, there is, in the safekeeping of our servant, Sir Welch.
I was thinking of the one edge to cut the truth, one edge to administer His Majesty's justice, and the scabbard to conquer.
I've had the very unique honor of dropping the sword on every single knight gathered here tonight, and every knight in our kingdom, save for Sir Cannon. And by far, this is the most special of those. In the name of Talcor that was, and in the name of Talcor that is, and in the name of the knights of House Numerals, I dub thee Sir Deagan, Knight of Antwerp. As is tradition in our kingdom, all knights receive a buffet. As my squire brother, we were squire together the same day. I don't know if you've seen our red belts out, but the symbol of NWO on them, the greatest chrome letters. For him, today I will serve as his avatar, a buffet me. Sir Deagan, let this be the last blow you ever received unanswered.
For those of you who are old enough and would like to join me and drink to Sir Deagan's memory, will be available over here on the side of the room. Also, throughout the evening, Angel will be providing alcohol sales, of which are $2 per shot, $5 for a bottomless cup for the rest of the evening. And all proceeds made will go to the American Heart Association.